If I had to ask you to name a famous psychologist, the answer of most of you would be Freud. He was the most famous psychologist ever, and he had a profound influence on the 20th and 21st century. This piece of research was done by an advertising company because advertisers are so interested in how we interact with each other and the environment. Traditional instruments are the shape and size and made of the materials they are because of the sound that they need to make. If you want to make a sound like a plucked string, you need a string and it needs to be under tension. The main source of pollution now is from cars and lorries, and although these don't produce visible signs, this air pollution is still a significant risk to health. The Western countries' women are becoming more and more reluctant to give birth to babies. However, the male status in society remains as strong as it ever has in recent years. Birth rates dropped to its lowest point that has never been seen in the society. It also has impacts on male in the society, especially young man, and it might have some connection with unemployment rates as well. We have found that energy insecurity is a growing and vexing problem among low-income households, and the COVID-19 pandemic has made this problem worse. Households that cannot pay for energy are unable to power electronic learning or medical devices, keep perishable, healthy food in the refrigerator, or maintain safe body temperatures. We're really expert at recognizing faces. So again, we can think about how do we take that visual information and how do we transform it into a form which allows us to put a name to a face, and to do all the other clever things that we can do with faces. There comes a time in a desert ant's life when a piece of food is too large to ignore, but too heavy to lift, and the only way to get it home is to adopt a new style of walking. People used to go to only near places, but now people who don't have their own vehicles can go further because public transportation help them travel long distance. Many things contribute to this crisis. Sometimes people live too remotely to get timely care if emergency occurs. Even when living in a city, the patient-to-doctor ratio can be as high as 50,000 people to just one doctor, making it impossible for that doctor to meet the demands of healthcare in that area. Those who participate in the training then have practical skills in supplies to care for others in their community in a way that glorifies God and opens the door for sharing the gospel in a new way. In proper terminology, such a temporary boost of physical power would be called hysterical strength. The stories are almost always in the form of one person lifting a car off of another. The end product for me was always better understanding, or when one really succeeded in unifying theory that can help us in teaching the subject. I've also looked at teaching as a vehicle to try new ideas, of new ways to doing things on an intelligent group of learners.